welcome to the Red Leaf Card, your home for Canadian soccer news and views. My name is Jacob, and today we're going to be talking about our thoughts on the Vancouver Whitecaps situation of could be the end of the Vancouver Whitecaps that might relocate to a different city. But first, here's your fixtures rundown. FC Supra de Quebec defeats Halifax Wanderers 2-1. Calgary FC draws with Inter Toronto FC 1 goal apiece. Atletico Ottawa draws with Vancouver FC 1 goal apiece. Pacific FC gets defeated by Forge FC 1-0. In Northern Super League, Vancouver Rise gets defeated by AFC Toronto 2-3. Halifax Tides defeats Ottawa Rapid 3-1. And Calgary Wild gets defeated by the Montreal Roses 2-0. Again, the shocking news coming out in Vancouver for the Whitecaps that they're in a hard situation, and the team made a statement of saying, "We are aware of today's reporting. The club has faced well-documented structural challenges around stadium economics, venue access, and revenue limitations that have made it difficult to attract buyers committed to keeping the team in Vancouver. Over the past 16 months, we have had serious conversations with more than 100 parties, and to date, no viable offer has emerged that would keep the club here. It remains the strong preference of this ownership group to find a solution in Vancouver. If there is a local ownership group with the vision and resources to chart a path forward, we urge them to come forward." And it looks like that the ownership of the Vancouver Whitecaps has finally ended their time. That they have no one that is interested in buying the Vancouver Whitecaps to stay in Vancouver. So all of the investors at that point who wanted to buy the Vancouver Whitecaps are not really interested in keeping them in Vancouver, because a lot of situations are with BC Place. And that's really the biggest situation. The owners of the Vancouver Whitecaps have always said it, because again, they also have to pay for BC Place. And also, if next wave of owners that own the Vancouver Whitecaps, they come in, take over, they're not going to like it. They're not going to like this situation as saying, "Oh, I'm losing revenue out of this. I have to pay a lot of money since I have no ownership of the stadium. I have to give a lot of percentage of my money to someone," and that's really concerning. I think the real situation is about the owners is like, again, they wanted a situation of getting their own stadium. City of Vancouver, where were you? And yes, what was their situation? Hearing news. The mayor of Vancouver right now, hey, let's bring in investors to get a Major League Baseball team in Vancouver. Just ignore what's happening to the Vancouver Whitecaps at that situation. It's just again, it's like this campaign all over again to exactly where the Vancouver Grizzlies used to be this NBA basketball team that a lot of people wanted, but again, didn't get a lot of fans and didn't get the popularity. But then later, that goes to Memphis, and then later, the Vancouver Whitecaps. Vancouver Whitecaps situation is again the same thing. And again, is the ownership not getting enough revenue, not getting enough fans to show up? But again, the fans always look at this saying that it's not their fault of every single matchup that they see. They always point the finger at the owners. Grizzlies, ownership, Whitecaps, the same thing, owners. But the real problem is, I would have to blame the city of Vancouver. I would have to blame them for not treating the Vancouver Whitecaps with a lot of respect. They've been a big dominant team from last season, almost won the MLS Cup. They won the Canadian Championship. They made the finals with the CONCACAF Champions Cup. With that much not respect coming in from this season of trying to give them a stadium, all this came down to, well, you're going to stay in BC Place. No matter what, we're going to pause the idea to make a stadium for you. And now you look at saying, oh, now Toronto FC is Canada's team. Now you're going to look at the situation. Oh, if Vancouver is no longer, could this be Club de Foot Montreal, the next team to fall? And again, fans are going to be in this situation like, what's next? What's next at this point? Again, there's always going to be this time. You could have been at this point like, oh, maybe the Canadian Premier League, maybe USL. Move the team to USL. Move the team to the Canadian Premier League. There's always this option at that point. I really feel sorry about the fans, the supporters for the Vancouver Whitecaps, that they're going to lose the Whitecaps. Again, it's Vancouver. They lost the Grizzlies. There, you could look at, for example, Edmonton. They lost FC Edmonton. You look at Winnipeg. They lost to Valor FC. They didn't have fans. Fans were the ones who should bring in. And that's what really didn't stand out for to keep them. But Vancouver Whitecaps is a big situation. You have the fans, but the ownership has so many situations that, oh, I have to pay this, about BC Place, and then later I'm on the red. I'm not making revenue out of this. So that was the biggest issue that the owners were. And now you look at saying, where's the Vancouver Whitecaps relocating? There was two possibilities. Would be Las Vegas or Phoenix, Arizona. If there was if anyone would pick that relocation, maybe Las Vegas, because it has the popularity for it. And I know a lot of people are going to get pissed off that a Canadian team is going to move to the US. Again, they have to face this reality that you've supported a team for years, and now there's this situation. Now they're making campaigns to keep the team. But again, no investors are interested. But again, when you look at the fans campaigning for Ryan Reynolds to own the team, that's out of line at this point. Ryan Reynolds, in my opinion, I think, again, Ryan Reynolds is Canadian. He's been in movies. He's a big celebrity in Canada. He owns AFC Wrexham. He owns a team in Colombia. I really think about if Ryan Reynolds was the guy who he came back and decided, hey, let's own the Vancouver Whitecaps. I don't think he has the interest in owning a Major League Soccer team. He's that guy who wants a team that wants better competition. Like, for example, in Euro, like those promotion relegation systems. A lot of people like that. But I don't think having a team in Major League Soccer is going to work for him. He's not that guy who has that much wealth to own the Vancouver Whitecaps. So my opinion has been always, I believe Ryan Reynolds is not going to own the team. He's not going to be that investor who's going to come in, buy the team, and waste all of that money that he has to sell his investments on Wrexham or the other team that he owns. This is like just killing and just basically taking money out of an investor, and sooner or later just figuring out that he's losing all that money. I don't think Ryan Reynolds should own the team. But a lot of people are going to be pissed off about that. Again, it's just facts about it. He owns two teams. But a lot of people are always like this. Well, he's always making these videos about Wrexham or other team that he owns, because it's what he's is. I really don't care what he is, because he has so much sponsorships that he makes documentary TV series about the team. Again, you expect like another actor just comes in and just makes a movie about it, that he's going to save the Vancouver Whitecaps. Probably Jim Carrey, for example. How about like bring in Mr. Wonderful? You expect, hey, Lawrence Stroll, who owns the Formula One team of Aston Martin, you expect, oh, maybe that guy would be in there. Canada does not have that much billionaires. But again, I would like Canada to have many Canadians to be really wealthful, to try to learn investment in sports to try to buy teams. But we're not seeing that. We're usually seeing Americans. Again, if you look at FC Supra de Quebec, there is one investor that is American, which I like because he's passionate just to actually thinking outside the box of thinking, hey, maybe Canada would be good in Quebec. In the Canadian Premier League, why not have a team in Quebec? Seen a lot, seen the culture, and they have a lot of potential, a lot of Canadian players that have been playing for the national team. And again, they have a lot of academies in Quebec. But you're looking at Vancouver, again, they are also passionate. You look at British Columbia, again, Ontario, Quebec, BC, those three provinces are passionate in sports. But again, it's always the Vancouver Whitecaps. So, my thoughts, if it's confirmed that the Whitecaps will be over, and again, it's been announced that before the World Cup, 2026 World Cup, that's really sad. It's really sad to hear this, but I hope there will be something positive in the future. I hope that the Vancouver Whitecaps could revive from this bad news, and hoping that in the future there could be an ownership group that could actually have the Whitecaps stay in Vancouver. And that's full time of the Red Leaf Card. You could follow us on X, Spotify, and YouTube. I'm your host, Jacob, subbing out.